On January 17, 1706, Benjamin Franklin was born in Boston, Massachusetts. The life ahead of him would be filled with immense success, ranging from pioneering governmental structure to creative writing. It's true, when most people think of Benjamin Franklin, he is associated with his work as a founding father of the United States or as a leading diplomat. While this part of his identity is never to be overshadowed, what a lot of people don't know about Franklin is his importance in the world of journalism, particularly how he changed the media landscape in newspapers and advertising. We hope to shine a light on the accomplishments of Franklin that don't show up in history crash course lessons, but are so relevant to the world of journalists. On October 2nd, 1729, Benjamin Franklin purchased the Pennsylvania Gazette, the second newspaper published in Pennsylvania. The Gazette was first introduced in 1728 by Samuel Keimer and ceased publication 10 years after Franklin's death in 1800. Through the Gazette, Franklin acted as the founder of a journalistic movement by printing and contributing to one of the most well-known publications of the time, publishing the first political cartoon and bringing revolutionary ideas to the new world of advertising. Upon purchasing the paper, Franklin was in charge of taking the Gazette's dull, low-quality print and turning it into something grand. He made the paper into a more successful publication by adding liveliness, public interest, and fun. The Gazette had one of the largest circulation rates in the colonies during that time. Franklin's emphasis on advertising also became prominent through his work with the Gazette. The paper contained more advertisements than any competing colonial paper, many of which he wrote himself, through which he discovered he was an amazing copywriter. He recognized the power advertising could have on economic success. That trend continues to this day with the decline in physical papers and the transition to competition over digital ad space. In 1750, in New England, almost 70% of white men and 45% of white women could read. In the southern colonies, about 50 to 60% of men and 40% of women. With a literacy rate greater than Britain, the colonies by mid-century hosted more newspapers than the mother country. The Pennsylvania Gazette was one of the most prominent publications of its time leading up to the American Revolution. Today, the paper's archives offer a window into life in the middle colonies in the mid-1700s, including reporting on fire, weather extremes, smallpox, the birth of triplets, death by alcohol, obituaries, advertisements, and more. Franklin served as a writer, editor, and publisher during his time at the Gazette. One of Franklin's contributors included publishing third-person account of his well-known kite experiment. Join or Die was a political cartoon attributed to Benjamin Franklin, advocating that the American colonies join the Albany Plan of Union. Primarily a publication for classified ads, merchants and individuals listed notices of employment, lost and found goods, and items for sale. The newspaper also reprinted foreign news. Most entries involved stories of travel. He changed advertising style by including simple illustrations, for example, a woodcut of a sailing ship or a spinning wheel, to accompany the words and ads, giving newspaper advertisements a new method of grabbing the attention of readers. He wrote, sold, and distributed advertising in a time when advertising was almost unknown. Most people were familiar with signage and other sorts of direct information, but Franklin added flair to this idea. He brought it to life, gave it structure, rules, and created a game and challenge-like competitiveness to it. Instead of keeping the text all the same in his ads, he charged fonts, sizing of the text to make words stand out and to draw you in. Benjamin Franklin had a huge impact on journalism.